Okay, hello. So an interviewer asked rapper 50 Cent, who's famous for his net worth, $260 million. Not only did he get that all from his rapping career, he also got that from his movies with famous actors such as Al Pacino, and representing vitamin water and lumber endurance sport deals. So he asked, "When do you sleep, 50? He answered, "Sleep is for people who are broke. I don't sleep. I might miss the opportunity to make a dream a reality." So in this quote, 50 Cent really didn't mean that you don't sleep. What he meant to say is that if you want to succeed, then you have to have some level of sacrifice and really work hard at it. But in order to reach success, you have to be physically optimal and emotionally and mentally stable to make sound decisions. And so where does all this momentum come from? It's easy, sleep. So can a person achieve a high level of success with being sleep deprived? Today, I want to explain the cause and effect of sleep deprivation. Here we'll discuss sleep quotas, the mechanism of sleep, and health issues. What does it mean to be sleep deprived? Let me show you a picture. Oh my God.
Choose to the right.
Right. Oh, here. From beginning. Okay. So, what does it mean to be sleep deprived? I have some stats and a diagram from Cornell Center for Materials Research. It says most adults is between 7.5 hours to 9 hours per night, and high school and college students about 9.25 hours per night. So he says we're right here, adults 7.9 hours per night. And most people, average people claim to get 7.1 hours per night, but studies have shown from this report, said that most people who claim to get 7 to 8 hours per night actually get about 6 hours per night, which is significantly less than any age groups over here. So why do we need sleep? What is the mechanism of sleep, and what really goes down when we sleep? I have some factual data from a study on sleep from Dr. Namni Goel and David Ginges. It says sleep is regulated by two different systems. Number one, the circadian system and the sleep-wake system, which together determine alertness, performance, and the timing of sleep. So circadian system is just a fancy word for your biological clock that tells us to wake up and go to sleep at night. What's fascinating about the circadian system is that it's controlled by
What are you pushing?
Okay. So what's fascinating about the circadian system is that it's controlled by a suprachiasmatic nucleus right here, which responds to light and dark signals. Oh my God. The light travels to the retina and it goes strictly to the suprachiasmatic nucleus, which signals the circadian system to be awake. And not only does that happen, the SCN also responds to light by signaling the pineal gland right here, which releases a hormone called melatonin, which is associated with sleep onset. So while it's delaying that in the morning, when the light is out, it delays that it releases a hormone at night, which promotes sleep. And so what happens when you're sleep deprived? From the same study as the previous one, Dr. Goel and Ginges say, when sleep deprivation lasts longer than 24 hours, a divergence occurs between the sleep-wake cycle, which begins to build an escalating sleep debt. The result is counterintuitive. When we remain awake for 40 hours, we'll feel less sleepy at the 38th hour than the 24-hour point. In other words, you start mounting this thing called the sleep debt. What it is this. Your body responds to everything that you do throughout your day. For example, if you eat more than your daily calorie intake, you're bound to gain weight, right? But if you eat less than your daily calorie intake significantly, then you start losing weight, you're gonna slim down a little bit. In the same way, your body reflects your sleep debt. Every hour that you lose each night, it's gonna add up to, it's gonna start mounting your sleep debt. And as the quote has explained, when the divergence occurs between the sleep-wake cycle, you forget that you're tired. Your brain forgets that you're tired, and then it forgets to remember that you're fully rested. It forgets to remember how it feels to be fully rested. So, the sleep that also is keenly connected to health issues. For example, I have an example from Harvard Medical School and Family Health Guide. It says, in a landmark study of human deprivation, the University of Chicago followed a group of volunteers who slept only 4 hours per night for 6 consecutive days. They developed higher blood pressure and higher levels of the stress hormone cortisol and produced only half the usual number of antibodies to a flu vaccine. All the changes were reversed when the students made up the hours of sleep they lost. So this explains why chronic sleep deprivation could raise the risk of health issues such as obesity, heart disease, stroke, and diabetes. So if you just imagine, if all these things could have happened within the period of 6 days, slightly less than a week, just imagine how much worse it could be if sleep deprivation continued for, I don't know, months and years to come. So sleep is one of the most neglected commodities we have today. It's the first thing that comes to our mind to trade off in our busy daily schedules. It's quiet but one of the deadliest weapons that we can use against ourselves. Sleep is conducted by 2 systems called the circadian system and the sleep-wake cycle. And when we don't get enough sleep, in our case 9 hours per night, then we're going to start building up and mounting up our sleep debt, which can lead to serious health risks. So I suggest start paying off your sleep debt, maybe 1 hour per night, and then maybe getting 4 to 5 hours extra sleep over the weekend, and you might be surprised of what it could do for you. You might be surprised to remember more, think sharper, and improve your quality of life. Thank you.
So Ethan, share your thoughts with us, please, and make sure to speak up so that we can hear it on the video.
Okay, so her central idea is that sleep, we're talking about sleep depravity and the importance of getting in your sleep over a period of time and how it develops over certain ages. One good thing I liked about this speech was her loud voice. It was very clear. But I felt like she was moving on too fast, a little bit lack of definition. It was kind of hard for me to, absorb the information, kind of think about it. You're just slow down a little bit. The source, credibility, you name names, but I didn't hear any from this book, so-and-so, and that. Transitions, I didn't really catch much. You kind of just moved on to the next topic, but it wasn't like a big upset or anything. I mean, you made it clear what you're going to talk about next, but I didn't hear a sentence for that transition. And that's a lot from what I got from.
Okay. That's a good start. Thank you. I thought the attention device was fine. I like the reference to the interview with 50 Cent, and he never sleeps, which explains why his eyes always look so sleepy. That or all the pot he's smoking. I'm not sure what it is. I thought that you had a pretty good justification at the beginning of the speech for the subject. That was fine. I'd agree with Ethan. I thought that you cited a lot of information. And the names, I think, are important. You give us their qualifications for the most part. The publications are less important as long as we know who it is that we're listening to. Sometimes the publication would be helpful also. I didn't think that was a big problem in this situation, so I wouldn't be overly concerned about that. There was actually a good preview at the beginning of the speech, but I'm going to agree with Ethan. I thought that there were problems with the transitions and the internal organization. It did feel sometimes like the information was running together and it needed to be more distinct while you were presenting it. I also have to agree a little bit with the presentation comment that he makes. I think that you are rushing very much, and sometimes it's obvious when you watch yourself speaking that you're rushing because you're bumping into the furniture while you're doing that. But when you're also listening to yourself, it just seems like you are in a hurry and sometimes a little bit anxious, and I think you need to slow down a bit so that we can get the ideas across a little bit more clearly. I suspect that there probably are distinct points in the speech, but they get lost because you are rushing, and sometimes you're rushing from one piece of information to the next, and instead of rushing from one piece of information to the next, you may very well have been rushing to the next idea, and it just wasn't clear because everything is being presented at that frantic pace. So that'll be something to work on for next time. Obviously, you had a little bit of awkwardness with the equipment at one point. Obviously, you need to practice a little bit more with the PowerPoint so that you know how the slides start and that kind of thing. But that was not a huge problem, just a minor quibble. I thought your explanations were pretty good. The table chart that you showed at the beginning was fine, and then the visualization of the different components in the head, in the brain that produce the hormones that we need to be able to sleep. I thought that was pretty good also. Seemed to me like it would be one of those things where we could maybe tie it back into some of those patterns of sleep also. You know, how long a person sleeps, how much of the hormone they're getting at any given point. Maybe there's some connection there, I don't know. A little bit more elaboration on that. But you usually define those concepts pretty well. All right, thank you.